What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today we're excited to check out Trippples from Aladdin. This is for 2 or 4 players, oddly enough. It's for ages 8 to 80, and it'll take, I don't know, about 5 to 15 minutes to play. And in Trippples, you are going to be playing an abstract strategy game in which you will be setting up the board piece by piece and then trying to move your pawn from one side of the board to the other, but it's not going to be that easy because your opponent will kind of be controlling which direction you will be able to move on your turn. What am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Trippples. So first and foremost, we have our handy dandy rule sheet. It is one page, double-sided, no real pictures aside from this, and it's okay. It should have you up and running in no time at all. I wish it did have a couple pictures. That would have been really nice and easier to set up, and there's all sorts of space on the bottom and the top. But it is still a simple game, and I can teach you how to play right now. There's also variations, a whole bunch of variations on the back, so you're really going to need the first 1.5 pages. So in Trippples, you're going to be able to play either a 2 or 4 player version of the game, and they play relatively the same. These are the pieces that you're going to be moving around the board, which, yes, I really wish they would have used different colors, but as you can see, you get real close. These ones are kind of pink, and these ones are kind of clear. Yeah, not the easiest to see. Now, the star of the show is going to be the board and then these pieces right here. So this is how you're going to set up the game, irregardless of whether or not you're playing 2, 3, or 4 players. You're going to have these 4 pieces on the outside. These can be placed in various different spots, though. These are blank tiles, but this is how they recommend setting up the base game. But once you've played a couple games, you can set this up wherever you want. Now, you're going to take turns, and you are going to place these pieces all around the board. And these pieces will have 3 different arrows in which the player after you will be able to go, depending on where you play it. And this will make more sense once I get everything set up. So we'll just set it up real quick like this. And what you're going to be doing now is everyone's going to be taking turns playing tiles like so. And you could play, I'd be like, oh, I want this one right here. Next person might want it right here. But you're getting the example. Now, one big thing that you have to make sure you do when you do this is that everyone's dot has to be in the same direction. So all the dots right now are on the left side. So I could not do this. It would not be a legal move to have the dot on the top. So just for time purposes, though, I'm going to not worry about the dots, and I'm just going to set up the board, because you're going to continue to do this until the board is completely set up. And as you can see, all the tiles should be face down, so you're never quite sure what tiles you're going to be drawing. Now, when you're placing tiles, there definitely is a lot of strategy on which tiles you should be placing. Now, I haven't quite mastered the strategy of this game. I think I've played it 4 times now, and I've gotten beat all 4 of the times, but there is a huge, immense amount of strategy in which tiles and where you play them, because how the game is going to work is when you move your pawn across the board, the spot that you land your pawn on is going to tell the next player the 3 directions that they can move their pawn. So you are going to be dictating one of the 3 directions, only 3 potential directions that the next player will be able to do, which can lead to some interesting scenarios as you try to potentially steer your opponent into a different direction, or potentially make it so they can't take a move at all. And there is a way to win the game by freezing different players, and I'll go over those at the very end. They don't happen too terribly frequently, and I think they can only happen really in a 2-player game. But you can potentially win the game if you can make it so that a player can never get to their final destination, or that a player can never, that you and a player both are frozen. So we got our board set up right now. We'll set up a 2-player game, so put this guy right here. Put this guy right here, and now we have it set up and ready to rock and roll. So this guy's going to be trying to get here, this guy's going to be trying to get here, and the first player is going to be able to move in whichever spot they want. So let's just say the square goes, boom, moving right here. Now this is a good move right here, because now the square person only has one option. Normally they would be able to go up, or they would be able to go to the top right diagonally. However, obviously, since the circle is right here, they can't go up, they can't diagonal, so they have to go down, which now means boom, circle is going to go down, which now means that the square can either go top left, which they can't do. They can't go diagonally top left because that would be the space here. They can go down bottom left diagonally or just down. So they would just say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go like this. And once again, that would be a pretty ideal move for the square because they're in a spot, which means that the circle can either go top right diagonally, bottom right diagonally, or top left diagonally, which means that they can't go this way, they can't go that way, so they have to go right here, and now they're actually kind of going backwards, counterproductive. Once again, we look at this spot, it's to the right, up and to the right, or diagonally to the left and up. Obviously, this person's going to go right, and you're going to continue to do this until someone is able to get to their spot down here, at which point they will be the winner. Now, the middle spots right here, or if you want to position them in various different spots when you know how to play the game a little bit better, are just going to be dead spots. But in the back, they have various different variants where you can make these wild spots and do all sorts of different things. But anywho, you're going to continue to go until someone has gotten from point A to point B, which will normally be the opposite corner, at which point they will be the winner of the game. But there are a couple other scenarios that could potentially happen. The game can end in a draw if both playing pieces are frozen without someone planning it. So for instance, if you plan it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to freeze him and I'm going to be frozen, and you say freeze, then that's one way that you win the game. But if you do that and it's on accident, then that's a draw. Also, both playing pieces cycle repeatedly through the same series of moves, each avoiding to lose. So if someone's like, I'm not going to lose the game, you're not going to lose the game, the kind of classic version of like chess where yes, you could, it's a stalemate essentially, where I'm not going to lose and you're not going to be able to beat me, so it's a stalemate. Also, if both players agree to a draw because the layout of the tiles is such that neither player can win, then you can do that as well. But for the most part, when someone gets from boop to boop, they will be the winner of the game. And that in a nutshell is how Trippples is played. 3 Ps. 3 Ps! Alrighty then, Trippples from Aladdin. What are my final thoughts? Let's go to the pros, let's go to the cons. First on the con side, 2 or 4 players is a very odd restricted player count. Now, we played this with 3 players once, and we had absolutely no problem at all. It's just, I could see there being a slight disadvantage to the 2 people who are going in the same direction, because they might run into each other. But for the most part, you can play this 2 to 4 players, so I would kind of ignore that. Also, this is pure abstract strategy game. There is no theme whatsoever. They didn't even attempt to do a theme, which I can actually appreciate for the most part. But still, if you're not in the market for an abstract strategy game, this one's not so amazing that it's going to convince you to, see the light side and join the abstract strategy game market. Also, component-wise, I was not a fan of the little pieces that they give you. They look a little bit too similar, like it's very, very light pink or very, very clear, and I really wish they would have gone with 2 very distinctive different colors. But that being said, they are nice pieces. The tiles are nice. The board is nice. The rule booklet is well done, even though I wish they did have more pictures in there. Even if they're black and white pictures, just a couple more pictures would have been nice. And they include a lot of variants, so this game can have some legs in that aspect. Any other cons? Wait, those were all pros. Yeah, we're talking about cons. No, it's an abstract strategy game. It's an old school abstract strategy game. It's probably out of print, which means it's going to be hard to find. It has a restricted player count. But moving on to the pros, I enjoyed it. And I was very surprised to enjoy this game. I got this game for dirt cheap. I was assuming, oh, this is going to be terrible. Then I'm going to review it, and I'm going to get rid of it. But in actuality, while I still think I would get rid of this game for the most part, I'm going to be keeping this game because my wife really took a liking to this game. She has this spatial awareness thing that she likes to do. She's really good at spatial awareness, and she enjoyed this game an awful lot. And I think that people who do have spatial awareness can enjoy this game. And if you like abstract strategy games, then I definitely think you might enjoy this game because I think there's a lot going on. I think if you had 2 people who were very good abstract strategy game players, which I am not by any stretch of the imagination, this could become a very thinky, outsmart, outwit your opponents, because I really do like how it works, how you have to be looking at your player and be like, all right, you want to go that way, and I kind of want to go this way, but if I go this way, it's going to allow you to go that way. So, man, you know what? I kind of want to go this way because it's not too bad for me to go this way. It's a little bit out of my way. But if I go to this spot, it's really out of your way. And this is tick for tat. Like, I'm giving you a dollar, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to return me $1.25. And I think if you're really good at abstract games and you really enjoy abstract games, I think you might want to search down this game because it is a lot of fun. I felt like it did play 4 players and 3 players very well. I was able to play it at all the different player counts, and I liked it at all the player counts, even though I will say definitely 2 players I thought was the best. It was the quickest at least. But still, Trippples from Aladdin. Surprisingly, if you're in the market for an abstract strategy game, and if you don't mind searching this one down, or if you're finding it in a thrift shop or whatnot, I can recommend it if you like abstract strategy games. If you don't like abstract strategy games, this is not going to be the one to wow you over. But if you do, I enjoyed Trippples. It's a nice, solid little oldie but a goodie game. So that is Trippples from Aladdin, one that I surprisingly am going to be keeping. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. In the comments below, let me know, abstract strategy games, are you good at them? Not do you like them, but are you good at them? I personally am ho-hum on them. Some of them I like, some of them I dislike, but for the most part, I am terrible at all of them. I have terrible spatial reasoning. I can't restructure things in my brain and whatnot for the most part, so I am absolutely atrocious at them. But are you good, bad, or atrocious at them? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.